So 2012, yeah, 12, 21, 12. So the Mayans said it was going to be the end of the world, but what did they know, you know? And they disappeared, so we don't really know. That's really why they didn't continue the calendar. They just disappeared. Nobody ever actually knows what happened to them. So that could be the reason they have no more calendars after that. But also, when you think about it, the end of the world as we know it, when you're making changes, you know, whether you're ending a marriage, right? That's the end of that world, right? When you're going from one business to the next, that's the end of that world. We all have times in our life when we're making major changes, right? When we have health problems. And all of a sudden we can't do what we used to do. And we have to face our mortality, right? That's the end of that world. So what? You know, ain't no big thing. You know, it's going to be whatever you make it. But you usually, my experience is you have to tear down what was before you can build up what you want. Otherwise, you're building something on a shaky foundation. So you can look at it any way you want. You can look at it as a catastrophe or something terrible, or you can look at it as opportunities. You know, people lose a job and they go, oh my God, what am I going to do? Well, you're going to do something else is what you're going to do. Or not. You know, it's transition. Nothing wrong with anything. So Nancy wanted me to address that a little bit, and I did. That's it. I'm done. Because really, life is always going to have empowerment and limitation. There's no way you're going to get away from that. Everything is not always going to be happy, 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 happy. You wouldn't even know if it was without having experiences that weren't happy, 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 right? You're going to have limiting experiences. You're going to have empowering experiences. What I'm interested in is letting you know that you have the ability to overcome the things that don't feel so good. You know, it's not the end of the world. Even though when you're in the middle of it, it feels like there's no hope and there's nowhere else to go. There's many options. So one thing that I love about this group, when I came in, I thought, oh, it's been a while. And I see all these faces, and I know everybody has some connect with other people. Just connecting with people that you know can be so helpful during the holidays. Don't be afraid to pick up that 10,000-pound phone and call somebody you know and say, listen, I'm feeling a little blue. You know, maybe you lost somebody dear to you during the holidays and it brings up some emotional stuff for you. Maybe you just lost a job. Anything can happen any day, right? Family members in crisis. Call a friend. Friends are there to listen, okay? You do it for them, so don't hesitate to do that for people that you care about. And for yourself. I'm speaking for myself because I have to tell you, I'm the last one on the planet that asks for help. So I do what I do because I teach what I need to know. I mean, seriously, that's what I do. Constantly, every single day, I'm talking to people about what they can do to improve their lives because I need to remind myself. So as a self-discovery trainer, what I do is I teach people how to deal specifically with limitations, and we do it energetically. So you can positive think your way all the way to the bank, and that's great. However, positive thinking is not all there is to it, okay? It just isn't. Because if it was, we'd all be living in castles, and we'd all be driving our fancy cars, and we'd all have the knight in shining armor, whatever those fantasies are, okay? And that's really not what it's about anyway. For me, it's about realizing that life is real. There's things, like I said, that don't feel good and do feel good, and learning how to manage yourself. Really learning how to manage yourself, because it's beyond here. Thoughts come and go, and this is, I always tell everybody, this is the bad neighborhood. You know, you don't want to go in here. One of my clients told me it was a slum, you know. Don't go in there by yourself. Stay out of your head, because that's where the stories are. That's where you tell yourself, I'm not good enough, I'm too fat, I'm too old, I'm too blah, 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 all those, I can't do it, it's too hard, I don't have enough money. Those are just stories. And we tell ourselves those stories so many times we actually start to believe them, okay? So stay out of your head. One of the things I do is teach you how to stay out of your head. Critical. And I'm going to show you that technique. One of the techniques of the 13 that I train people in just takes a minute, and it will help you. And I promise you, if you practice it all the time, your whole life will change just from one technique, okay? Because it's easy to say think positive, but it's tough when you're sitting in a hole when your car is covered with water, right? It's really a challenge, as Diane can tell you. It's really a challenge when somebody gives you a diagnosis that doesn't sound great about your health. Okay? It's easy to think positive when everything's going great. Having the skill to be able to keep yourself, maintain yourself, and be your own cheerleader is critical, having those skills, in addition to not being afraid to ask your friends, your true friends, to just be an ear for you, to listen. And they'll tell you after a while, get over yourself, if they're a true friend. Because after a while, it's just boring, you know? And I know myself, I got tired of hearing my old story, okay? So what else can I tell you about what I do? I help you help yourself. I am a human potential authority. I just decided. I'm a human potential authority. So what I do is I train you in skills that were developed by an ex-Marine. And I emphasize that. I met a Marine today. He said there's no such thing as an ex-Marine. So I can't say that anymore. You're always a Marine once you're a Marine. So what I do is train you in skills that are effective, deliberate, and we deliver. You know, we always get the job done, just like the Marines always get the job done. And that's the way the self-discovery trainers are prepared to do our work. And I give you those skills, 13 techniques. I'm going to show you one in just a minute. So you can manage yourself, so you're not at the effect of the world. Because if you turn on the news, against my better judgment, if you turn on the news and you hear all the bad news, it's really challenging to stay optimistic, right? If you read the newspaper, I don't know if anybody still reads newspapers, it's really challenging to stay optimistic, to realize that you decide and you have the ability to manage your attention, and wherever you put your attention, everybody knows this at this point, that's what grows. So if you're walking through the garden, in a beautiful garden, everything's gorgeous flowers and everything looks wonderful, and your attention is on the manure, guess what? You're missing it. And I spent most of my life, before I did this work, living in the city of delusion next to the river of denial. And all I could see and all I could smell was the manure, okay? So you gotta learn skills. I mean, I had the best intentions and everything went okay, but I was sure that this is the way I was and nothing was ever gonna change, and boy, people sucked and it was just awful. And if everybody would do what I wanted, everything would be okay. I mean, I really was like this, okay? So when you learn that your skills, am I hitting a button here? When you learn you have skills that you really can change the way your behavior is, you really can change who you're being. It's not him. It's not them. It's you. Anywhere you go, there you are. And I did a lot of geographic cures to see if I couldn't get a better life. And I promise you, the geographic cure does not help, okay? I did it from New Jersey to New Mexico to California and back. And everywhere I went, there I was. And I didn't know at the time. I didn't know what I didn't know. And when I finally saw that I was the common denominator, oh man, it didn't feel good. It just didn't feel good. But my work, self-discovery training, is about getting real with yourself. It's not for everybody. It really isn't. It's only for people that want more, that are ambitious, that are courageous, that are bold, that are willing to face their shit. Oop, we're on camera. But that's what it amounts to. They're willing to look at their dark side, their shadow. And most people don't want to look. It's like this. If I don't see you, it doesn't exist. And that's the way I lived my life. Guess what? What we're going to do is we're going to dive right into the shadow. And you'll find out when you turn on the light, it's not that bad. And guess what? Everybody has the same stuff. May come in a little different flavor and a little different color, but it's all the same. We're human beings. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. I believe that everyone's enlightened. We just forgot. So let me show you how to remember who you are, how to reconnect with your true self, your higher self, your soul, if you like. It's a sacred, profound experience, and it's my pleasure to share that with you if you choose. Meantime, I don't know what the time is, so I'm going to go ahead and show you this one technique. Some of you have experienced it before, and I hope you're practicing it. But this is called present moment awareness. When you talk about the past, it's from now. And when you talk about the future, it's from now, which means the only time is now. Many people will talk about the different concepts of personal development and potential, but they don't give you specific techniques. Self-discovery is unusual in that we dive into the shadow, we dive into empowerment, and we give you the experience of it. So it's not just concept. Because that's how we learn, right? Frame of reference. You have to have a frame of reference. So very simply, if you'd like to learn this, just put your attention out into the room and become very aware of the sense of sight. Just really notice what you see. If you put your phone down, you might have a better experience. Put your attention out and just become aware of the sense of sight. Really give this to yourself. Notice what you see, sizes and shapes and colors, textures, lighting, reflections. Keep directing your attention out. No judgment and no opinion. Try that one on. No judgment and no opinion. Just like a baby doesn't have words for things, just notice what you see. Keep putting your attention out on the sense of sight. And remember to breathe. Now, in addition to the sense of sight, become very aware of the sense of sound. While you're putting your attention out on the sense of sight, you're adding the sense of sound. Besides my voice, any subtle sounds in the background, even your own breath. There you go. In addition to sight and sound, now you're adding the sense of touch. Become aware of the weight of your body in the chair, the temperature of the air against your skin, your feet in your shoes on the floor. Touch your skin. Really just allow yourself to keep your attention out on the sense of sight. You're adding the sense of sound, rather rudely. And now you're adding the sense of touch. Keep directing your attention out. Those thoughts that are coming up, just let them drift by like a cloud. How are you feeling? Relaxed. How do you feel, Wendy? Peaceful. How you doing? Relaxed. Light. Nance? Light. It's called enlightenment, right? Lighten up. I promise you, if you practice this all the time, this is about returning to a human being instead of a human doing. And that's what life is about, right? The holidays can be very, very stressful. We have all these expectations, or we have family that expectations, and we think that we have to do things, and we should do things, and we drive ourselves into an emotional turmoil without even realizing what we're doing. Take a breath, get present. This is so simple, and what I love about it is you can do it anywhere, anytime. With people, they don't know what you're doing. Use that person, size, shape, color. Become aware of sound, feel your body. Just get present with what you're doing. And that way you're going to do what? What's going to be different in your life if you did that?
I'll have more control over everything I'm doing and thinking and my presence.
Absolutely. What would be different for you if you were doing that all the time?
I probably would leave my kids alone.
Yeah. Becca, what would you do? How would be different?
I think that through that I'll feel more responsive versus reactive and just move things into their proper boxes in a calm manner.
Awesome. So we all have everything within us. We all have all the answers. Just like Wendy, I help you find them within yourself, right? So you know, because everybody knows everything they need to know. We just forgot. And when you start remembering what a profound, extraordinary, creative, loving human being you are, what could be better than that? And your family really doesn't need anything more than you, by the way. They don't need anything more than you and your love and your attention. So thank you so much for letting me share this with you. And have a nice holiday, all of you.